Hello, my name's Sam and welcome to my sewing journey channel on YouTube. So let's sparkle with Sam. So today is my Friday sews, hashtag Friday sews. So thank you so much to Jen in the sewing room for her hashtag Friday sews sewing community. And yes, the hashtag Friday sews is definitely worth a look, and you know, pop it in the search and see all of us vloggers have a little sewing chit chat. So my sewing kind of journey and challenge for this week I'm going to chat to you about a success, a little bit of a fail, and an absolute disaster, darling. So yeah, that's been my sewing kind of adventures this week. And then I'm going to also share with you 2 prizes. So I've partaken in quite a few challenges this year and I've won 2 prizes, so I'm going to share those with you. And then I've got a couple of purchases and then my plans for next week. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then give me a like, give me a subscribe, touch that notification bell, and you'll always know what I'm up to and when I post a vlog. So this week, I didn't really do any vlogging last week. My So Hayley Jane subscription box came last week on Thursday, and I'd been sent home from work because I wasn't feeling very well, and I still can't put my finger on quite what was wrong. I just really wasn't very well, and it turned on Friday I slept all day long, so there was something not quite right, but it dealt itself with a lot of sleep. And so yeah, so because I wasn't feeling very well, I didn't really feel like doing any of my subscription unboxing or anything like that. So I just gave myself a whole week off from vlogging. I just didn't do anything. But if you are interested in what happened to my So Hayley Jane box, I will be doing another vlog in a little while and let you know kind of what's happening with that and what I'll be making. So yeah, so I just gave myself a week off, a bit of self-love. I wasn't feeling very well. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I needed to give myself a bit of time, so I did. So yeah, but I have been quite busy sewing. So I'll start, I think, with my little bit of a little minor fail make. So I made, I've got it here, this Lillian blouse. So this was supposed to be my Sew April blouse, but it was May. And I'll pop some pictures up of me wearing it so you can see a little bit better, but here it is in the flesh. So this is the Sew Over It Lillian blouse, and I decided that I would, because I've not really made very many blouses, you know, with collars and plackets and all of that kind of thing. I thought there would be lots of new skills for me to learn. So I decided that I would buy myself a kit. So I did. So I went on the website and I bought the Sew Over It kit, so the fabric and the buttons and everything came with it. I did actually change the buttons because I wasn't keen on the buttons that were in the kit. So yes, I did that thinking that I would be able to do a sew along video because it did advertise that it had a sew along video for the Lillian blouse. However, I got my kit. I was a very good girl and I kind of, you know, traced off all my pieces. I decided what size I wanted to make. I found it a little bit challenging because I've been finding taking my measurements. I've retaken all of my measurements and I've been finding the right size for me a bit more of a challenge, and kind of deciding if I need to do bust adjustments and things like that. So I kind of thought about it really carefully. I did a lot of research. I cut out my pattern pieces. I interfaced all of the extra bits that I needed to interface. I had it all ready. I got my instructions out. I set up my video because I've got a TV in my sewing room. I set up my video to play and it played, but they'd already done most of the construction and the video was just how to do the darts. Well, I can do the darts. That's the bit I know. So I was a bit disappointed, if I'm honest, because I really wanted a nice hand-holdy sew, but it wasn't to be. However, the instructions that came with it were really good. So I managed to muddle through with just the instructions, but I did make a few mistakes. So the first mistake was that in the instruction, it shows you how to pop all of the collar pieces on, and you sew, when you do your understitching, you sew up to the notches on the button placket, and then you have to go around the other way and do the understitching the other way around the collar. And I did it wrong. I think I did it wrong because it's not quite laying as right as it should do. I don't know whether you can see, but it's just not quite right. But it, you know, it's perfectly wearable, and I'm very happy with it. I just think a little bit more instruction and I would have got there. But I'll know for next time, so that's okay. So that was a little bit tricksy. And then the second little minor disaster that went on with it was the buttonholes. Now, I don't mind buttonholes. I've got a really good machine that does automatic buttonholes. They don't frighten me too much. However, does this happen to anyone else? Because it happens to me more often than I care to know about. I did my practice buttonhole, perfect. I did my my practice one on the fabric for the size of the button, so I could set my automatic buttonhole, absolutely fine. There's 5 buttons on this. I did 4 buttonholes on my blouse, not a problem. Did the 5th buttonhole, and my machine, I mean, it just had a moment. I don't know what it did. It made a funny noise. It made some kind of weird things, and so I just had to stop the machine, and I ended up with about like this much thread all just in one place instead of a buttonhole. And then it took me ages to like reset it all and to get it to just do that one final buttonhole. So I had to unpick all of that and do another buttonhole. Now, I'm not too worried about it. I'll show you. I'll show you what we've got, what we're working with. So I don't know whether you can see, but it's just got this bit here where it's all kind of, I've unstitched it, I've kind of unpicked it, but where I put it back in again, in fact it doesn't show up too badly because it's all black, but if you could feel it, you can actually feel that it's not quite right. But no one's going to see that. The button's in, it's absolutely fine. But it was just really frustrating, you know, you just think, yeah, one more buttonhole to go, woohoo. No. But hey ho. So I have got a new blouse to wear. I really like it. I definitely want to make more shirts and blouses. I've got lots and lots of patterns to choose from, so that's definitely something that I'm going to think about. What blouses will fit nicely into my me-made wardrobe. So yeah. So that was kind of meh. And then I had an absolute disaster, darling. Oh my goodness. So, have you ever had a really good idea? I had a really good idea. I got a pattern through, I got an email through Atelier Scammit, and it was for a free download for a top called, I think it's Delish. I think you say Delish. It's Declic, but I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. And I'll put a picture of the pattern up here for you so to see. And I thought, oh, that looks very pretty. It was a really, really simple kind of summery top. It had some lovely pleating here, short sleeves. Other than that, a nice v-neck. I do like quite a v-neck. And it just looked very kind of floaty and, you know, kind of nice, easy. So thought, oh, I like a free download. Let's give that a go. So I did. Downloaded it, printed off the pattern, stuck all my pattern pieces together, cut out the size that it said for me. And it said to go on my bust measurement, which I did. So I went on exactly my bust measurement. I cut it all out. I sewed it all together. Now, honesty here. When I cut the pattern pieces out, I did look at it and think, oh, that's quite big here. It's quite big here. But then I thought, oh, hang on, it's got pleats. So if it's got pleats, you're going to have more fabric, because then when you pleat, you fold it in. So I was like, oh, it's fine. It will be fine. I finished it and me and my husband could have both fitted in it. It was like, and I didn't take any photos because it was indecent. It was so big that it was kind of like falling. You could see everything. So yeah, so that didn't work. Now, old Sam would have gone, that's going out the window. I don't know what I've done there. Complete disaster. I'll try again. But I was like, no, come on, Sam, you can rectify this. So wait just there. So here is the culprit. Here she is. And as you can see, even though I have fixed it, it's still very, very low here. But what I've managed to do, I managed to take, I basically recut entirely this piece here and reshaped it, and I had to take it in each side by about 2.5 inches. So you can imagine it was absolutely massive. It was about 5 inches in total I had to take out of that. I also had to take it up a little bit, and then I also what I did is I just ran a stitch through here with some elastic to just pull that in a little bit here, and also to pull it in this side as well. So I've tried it on. I've still got a little bit of tinkering to do it before I'd be completely happy with it. But it's now welcome to my gardening top. So it is my top for gardening in, and I think it will be fine. But you know, I made the most of it. I put some nice little decorative stitching on the around the neckline, just to kind of make it, you know, just to make me happier about it. But yeah, it was a complete disaster. However, I am not, and I repeat, I am not going to let this beat me. So in the remnant, I work in a fabric shop. It's called Carolyn Rose School of Sewing, and in our remnants basket, so like roll ends and those kinds of things, I had been spying for a little while this lovely fabric. So it's Natalia Brulette fabric. It's absolutely, and it's basically just over 1 metre, and it's got like a little dot on it. It's like a champagne-y colour. And I thought this would make a great one of the delish, I think that's how you say it, tops. So I'm going to try again. So watch this space. I'm not going to let this win. I am going to try again, and I may at some point have a top that I can actually wear out in public. So on to a success. So after that, I really needed a success. I needed a successful make, something that I knew that was going to work first time, that was going to make me happy, that I was going to be able to wear, and that I wasn't going to feel like I was a complete and utter failure. So what I did was I made the Agnes Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top. I can't show it you in person because I was so happy with it. I wore it yesterday. I wore it and it's in the wash because I got it quite dirty. So I'll pop a picture of me wearing it It's a 3/4 sleeve. It's just the plain old Agnes. I didn't do anything funky with the sleeves, or didn't put any elastic in. I just kind of did the basic. I did a straight size 4, fits me perfectly. Oh, I do always add a little bit to the length, because that's just how I like to wear tops. I like them to cover my bottom. And yeah, so that was nice. It just made me feel good. So yeah, so that's my sewing misdemeanors and triumphs for this week. So yeah, that was that. So next is my prizes. So the first prize that I got, I'm just going to look down at my notes so I don't forget. So the first prize that I got was for my selfless sew, #selfless sew, which I did pop on Instagram, and I won a prize from Crafty Girl Maria. I'll pop all of her details below, which was really lovely. And she sent me a bundle of some fabrics. She also sent me a little box to keep quilting blocks in, and a little tin. Now I can't show you the little tin because I re-gifted it. So I did a So Hayley Jane fabric swap this month. The colourway, I liked both colourways, but somebody popped on the Facebook page that they didn't like their colourway, and because I was happy with either, I agreed to swap with them. So I also gave them my little tin because I always like to pop something nice in. So I did that. But yeah, so I can't show you that, but I can show you the fabrics that I got, and I can show you the little quilting block. So it says keep calm and quilt on, and then it kind of pops open, and then you can put your little blocks in. I showed Simon, he said, well, you're not going to get very many in there. He said, you're not going to get very many sandwiches in there. It's like, it's not a sandwich box, it's for fabric. I think he thought it was a sandwich box. So, but yes, husbands. And then I got this gorgeous gingham. I think there's about ½ meter of the gingham, which will probably be turned into a sagebrush because I love a sagebrush. I'm actually wearing one of my sagebrushes today in my lovely Carolyn Rose fabric. So I've got gingham. And right, do not adjust your sets. If you are a little of the faint-hearted variety, you might want to look away now. This is very bright. You have been warned. This fabric is bright. So, are you ready? Oh. Oh. It is bright. In fact, the camera's not showing you just quite how bright it is. It is really bright. So it's like a fuchsia pink with a bright yellow. And there is lots of it. I think there's about 2.5 meters here. So it's quite a good weight. I think it must be cotton. It's quite a good weight. It feels almost kind of chambray, I don't know, little almost canvasy weight. It's a really, really good weight. So it's definitely a trouser weight fabric. It's obviously completely opaque, you can't see through it. So my daughter has been asking me for ages to make her a pair of funky trousers. That is funky material. So I'm going to use the Dawn wide leg jeans pattern. It's high-waisted. She likes high-waisted trousers, and I'm going to have a go. I don't normally feel very brave about trousers, but because they've not got to fit me, they've got to fit someone else. That kind of makes me feel more comfortable. I don't know why. I just kind of do. I'm kind of thinking, well, you know, I'll just do what I can do. So I'm going to have a go at making my daughter a pair of the Dawn jeans in those funky funky fabric. So thank you very much, Crafty Girl Maria, for my prize. It's very exciting, and my daughter is going to be very happy, hopefully, with her new funky trousers. So yes, so that was the first prize. Now, sorry, I'm looking at my notes again. I've got so many things to tell you that I know I'm going to forget, so I am going to just keep checking. So prize number 2 was my So Frugal 23 prize. I was absolutely delighted with this prize. I got a £20 gift voucher to spend at Lush Cloth. Now, as you know, So Frugal was a little while ago and I got my prize straight away, but I was hanging on because I knew I could choose what fabric I wanted, and I was just hanging on for the right fabric. I didn't want to get fabric for the sake of fabric. I wanted to get something that I really liked. And I do, and if you don't watch the Lush Cloth on YouTube, you should do, because she does some lovely, when she does like her fabric drops, they're really lovely to watch. And I'd seen that she had some beautiful linens in, so I put a little bit of my own money towards this, and I got this. Look, I mean, isn't it just beautiful? And it's the most beautiful weight linen. It's just absolutely lovely, in this lovely kind of forest mossy green, which is totally my colour. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to make some kind of bottoms with it. I haven't quite made up my mind. I'm tempted, if I can get, I think I've got 2.5 meters. I'd quite like to get some wide leg clots out of it and a pair of shorts if I possibly can. That might be pushing it. I might just get a pair of wide leg trousers out of it. So that's my plans. I'm going to have a look around for some patterns and things, but that's my plans. But yes, so thank you very much to everyone involved in all of the challenges and everyone that does sponsors, because it is really lovely to get a prize and I did feel very special. So thank you very much. So yeah, so that's my prizes. And then really it's just my plans for next week. So obviously one of the plans is to have another go at that dreaded Delish top. It will be fine. I will not let it win. So that is what I'm going to have a go at. And then I'm going to get on with my Lyra. So I'm currently toiling the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. And I have cut out a size 4, just the bodice, and a size 5, just the bodice, and obviously the button placket and the collar and everything, because I want to have a practice with the collar, just to kind of make sure that I'm making the right size bodice for me. I'm not too worried about the skirt area because I never really have a problem with that. It's only the only problem I tend to have with shirt dresses is that I tend to pop out of them. So I'm gonna have a little practice with that. So I've got some fabric that I've had in my stash for a while. It's interesting fabric, as you can see. It's got a little herby leaf on, but I thought it would be great for just toiling the bodice, and if it fits nice and whatever, I might actually put like a little peplum on the bottom and just wear it for gardening. But I've cut out the 2 different bodice sizes, and so hopefully my main plans for this week is to get that toile finished so that the following week I can get on with making my Lyras, because I've got 2 that I would really like to make. So I'm hoping I've not given myself too much to do. But yeah, so that's my plans. Another thing that I did pick up this week, as I said, in the remnants pile, at work, I picked up a lovely little remnant. I'll just take the little tag off so I can open it out and you can see it. Which was this. Now I was a little bit unsure about the colour for me because it is I tend to wear more bright and bold colours, where this is quite pastel. But I just love the lemons. And I just thought it was really nice and fresh and fruity and fun. And there is a challenge coming up in June called So Fruity, and I thought, oh, it would be nice for me to have something, some kind of fruity material to make up something kind of fun. So yeah, so it was just it was £7, so, and it was a bit over a metre of fabric. So I thought, I'll have me some of that and see what I can do with it. So yeah, I do like a bargain. So I've just unwrapped those two. So they're going to go in the washing machine later. So they'll be ready to sew this weekend. So that has been me. I hope you have enjoyed listening to me talking about my sewing disasters and my sewing successes. And if you do enjoy listening to my sewing journey, then I'd love it if you could think about subscribing if you don't already, and give me a thumbs up. It's always good. So I hope you've all had a really lovely week, and I hope you're looking forward to a really lovely weekend, and you have plenty of time to sew. Take care of yourself. Bye for now. Don't forget to sparkle.